Hi everyone, I've noticed some traders in our Discord are still asking about ICT daily buys or daily buys in general. And some of them are getting wrecked by sticking to buys too rigidly. The truth is, you don't need daily buys to make money. In today's video, I'll show you exactly why the moneymaker setup is all you need to achieve consistent profits. Oh, and a big shout out to Valentin and Chris for passing their challenges using only the moneymaker setup. Congratulations, guys. Now, let's talk about something that I see a lot of traders get caught up in: daily buys. No, don't get me wrong, understanding the market's daily direction can be useful, but it's often overcomplicated. Most of the videos out there never really address the fundamental question: why should you even care about daily bias if you don't understand the basics of market structure? So, instead of wasting time on a complex subject like daily bias, which might not even suit your trading style, you should focus on the basics that truly matter, like understanding market structure. This is the foundation of everything. Knowing where you are in the market is far more crucial than trying to predict a daily bias. So always ask yourself, is the market making lower lows or higher highs? Are we in a trending environment or is the market consolidating? These are the questions that will actually help you make informed decisions in your trading. By understanding the structure, you can identify the key zones where the market is likely to react, which is far more actionable than sticking rigidly to a daily bias that might not even hold. So, before you dive into the rabbit hole of daily bias, take a step back and build your foundation. Learn to read the market structure, recognize the trends, and understand where the price is likely to go next. Once you have that down, you'll see that you don't need a daily bias to make profitable trades. Now, before we dive into today's review, let's talk about the moneymaker setup. So if you're new here or just need a refresher, the moneymaker setup is my go-to strategy for trading the Nasdaq. It's designed to be simple yet powerful, focusing on high probability trades that don't rely on overcomplicated indicators or theories. This setup has helped countless traders in our community, including myself. So the moneymaker is all about following the trend, seeing if the market, like in this example, is making higher highs and higher lows. The moneymaker setup is all about following the structure and placing trades inside those high probability zones. So it's very simple. We just go for the 1-to-1 at the 50% of the last downswing and take the 1-to-1. Here, this will be our zone, and we will take the 1-to-1 from this 50%. So in the moneymaker setup, we are just following the trend and taking the 1-to-1 anytime price pulls back to the 50% of the last swing. So we keep taking those 1-to-1s till the market flips on us, and then we will start taking bearish trades because the trend will be bearish in that time. Okay? So it's that simple. So whether you're just starting or you've been trading for years, the moneymaker setup provides a clear path to success. And as you will see in today's review, it doesn't matter what the ICT daily buy says, you can still make money day in, day out by sticking to this strategy. Alright, let's jump into today's review of the Nasdaq. We'll be looking at the entire day's price action, breaking down how the moneymaker setup played out in real time. As always, we're focusing on key zones where price showed strong potential for a high probability move. Notice how, even without considering the ICT daily bias, these setups delivered solid entries and exits. I want to emphasize that it's not about predicting the market, it's about reacting to what the market gives you. Throughout this review, pay close attention to how we identify these zones, manage risk, and maximize our gains. And remember, traders like Valentin and Chris and many others have passed their challenges by sticking to this exact approach, so you know it works. Okay, so before the day started, we were doing lower lows and lower highs. Okay, so the moneymaker is nothing but taking a trade in the 50% of the last pullback created and taking the 1-to-1. So before even the market started, we had our zone, and this was my first limit order for the day. Let's play price. We opened here and instantly gave the 1-to-1. So this is my first win. So as you guys can see, we didn't need a bias or anything else. We just saw that market structure was bearish and we assumed the continuation from this pullback created, which we called the zone. Okay? So this was a 23-point trade. You could have been done for the day. 23 points a day can make you a millionaire, or at least change your life. Now, let's keep playing price and see what it will do. So we are still consolidating here. Okay, so by us taking this new low, our protected high is the highest high between this low and this low. So the zone is from this low and this protected high. Okay, so when price will make it to this 50%, we will take a trade. If not, we will take a trade from a new zone. So we created this mini zone here. We can take a trade from its 50%. If you can see, price didn't tag us and created another mini zone. Okay, so this mini zone is not valid, but we won't go into that in this video. If you guys want to learn more about the validity and how to choose better zones, there is a video in my YouTube that you can find about this. Okay, so this was our first loss if we took it, but we are now bullish. Why? Because we flipped above this zone. So this was the valid zone and this was the correct flip. Okay, because here we never closed above this candle. So now we have this bullish zone. Notice I'm not using any higher time frame confluence or anything. I'm just trading what market is telling me now. Okay, so we have this bullish zone now, and now I'm not taking any zone from the bearish side. Why? Because for me we are bullish now, so I'm just following what price is dictating now, not in hindsight. Okay, so as you can see, price didn't make it to this zone and they just went up. Okay, for me this is my new zone, although not valid, but it has some beautiful stops they can take before mitigating its 50%. Let's see what happens. You see what happened, guys? So actually we never respected this bearish zone. And from my backtesting, I found out that most of my losses come from those hindsight zones. And my win rate increased when I'm always following what the price is telling me now. Not in here, but in the right hand side of the price. Sorry guys, I forgot to count the last loss that happened before the flip. Okay, so I was about to tell you about the only trades I was willing to take in the left hand side, which are the moneymaker A++ with accumulation and displacement zones. So this was a bearish zone within a big zone that was not mitigated. So we accumulated under it and displaced, which make it a high probability A++ zone for us, and we always take it, right? So for the moneymaker, this was a second win for the day, okay? But those zones need more practice and discipline to spot. If you don't understand those zones, just try to spot the simple ones like this one and trade them and be done for the day, okay? You're not obliged to take everything that the market has to offer. Okay, so now that we created our bullish zone, we're placing our limits at this 50% and expecting that price will tag us in and resume in its bullishness. So we're in and TP hit in one candle, okay? This was first beautiful trade. So that's another 20-point trade. So you can really be done for the day, okay? But my job is showing you how the market or the money maker gives a lot of trades every day. And by no means I'm encouraging you guys to trade every single trade every day. You will end up in a burnout state and you won't take any smart decisions. Okay? We end up weak in this zone. Cool. And now we took this high. This is now the new zone. Okay? Which is also an ICT dealing range. Right? So let's see what's happening. If they tag us in, nothing yet, but we created now this zone, right? Higher highs, higher lows. Okay, we're bullish now. Okay, so see, so we're creating these small zones now. Okay, and small zones are usually signal for the price that is getting close to flip. Okay, so this was a zone. We came back to it, never tagged the 50%, but we flipped in this micro structure, which makes it now new zone. Okay, but I'm not taking it because it can be a flag flip to come back to the 50%. But if we take this high another time, I will trust the new zone. Okay, so we took this high and created now this new zone. Okay, so I'm pushing my limits in this 50%. They tag me, I'm in. Okay, so another win. Okay, you really need to train your eyes for structure, because even on internal structure like this, you can make a good chunk of money. Okay, so we close above this high. This is now my protected low. I'm taking my limits here again at this 50%. I'm in, and another one. Okay, now we took this whole zone now, so we forget about this internal structure, and this is now my higher time frame zone. Okay, if we take or close under one of these lows, I won't take it as a flip. This was just internal structure to take this high. Okay, let's keep playing. Okay, so I'm waiting for price to get me tagged in. So I'm tagged in now. and a loss. Not only a loss, but we closed under this zone, which make it now a bearish zone. Okay, so my limits are now at this 50%. We first tap it, accumulation here. So we just missed it by a tick, so I'm not in it. Okay, all right, so we closed under this low, which make this one my new zone. Okay, so my limits are in this 50%. I'm in now, and the 1-to-1 is given. Okay, so again I forgot about the last loss and H win, right? So this was a 35-point trade, which is really, really good. Okay, so let's keep following price. So we had this unmitigated zone, this unmitigated 50%, right? Sorry, bullish zone. But the moment we react so close to the 50% and give the 1-to-1, I delete my limits and never trust it. Why? And especially if we have an unmitigated zone under it, right? So for me, this was the zone I was waiting for. Price and take the 1-to-1 because it's a higher time frame zone. Okay, we go to the 5-minute, you will see it. Okay, so this was a zone. We had the first step, accumulation and displacement. So this was an A++ money maker zone in the 5-minute, but I can see it also on the M1, right? So when it's a higher time frame zone, you can do two things. Number one, you can take a trade from the 50%, or number two, you can wait for the structure to flip bullish first and then take it from the 50%. Okay, so let's see what will happen. I'm taking this one from the 50%, which is a 40-point trade. Okay, so price after closing under this low created this bearish zone, and then we closed under it again. So if price comes back to this 50%, maybe I'm willing to take it short. Okay, so we didn't touch this zone, but we created this new one. I know this one was accumulation for this one, but this was also a valid zone. Okay, so I'm taking it short from this 50% to maybe take it to this 50%. Okay, but to be honest, when we have a higher time frame zone, when price taps into it, it's a higher time frame move. Okay, so you go back to the 50%, right? And the zone, the last visible zone, was actually this one, because now we are making moves on the 5-minute. We're mitigating or tapping something in the 5-minute. You can just trust the M1 zone. Okay, so this was the last zone, but let's act like we don't know anything, and this was my zone, because as I told you before, you don't need any form of higher time frame bias to make money. Okay, so we're tagged in now and a loss. Okay, no problem. So we closed above this zone, which make this one Now a bullish zone, maybe, right? So we flipped back bullish. Okay, no problem. So we went up, up. We mitigated. Remember this trade? The one when they didn't take us in the 50%. Okay, no problem. So they gave now the 1-to-1. Okay, no problem. Waiting for a new zone or something. Okay. So we took this liquidity, all right? And we took this buy side or sell side liquidity. Okay. So this is now my bearish zone, right? So I'm just following structure. Even though I took a loss here, I'm still following structure. I think it was my third loss, right? I didn't count it again. I have problems with counted losses. But yeah, okay. So I'm following structure now, forgetting about what's happening here. So we're tagged in and another win. Okay. Also, mind you, this is Asia, and Asia likes to range a lot. And taking any structure or zone on M1 is like a little bit hard. Okay. So I'm tagged in on my 5-minute trade now. Okay. So yep, I'm tagging in to the tick, and the 1-to-1 is given, right? But let's keep playing price. So if they didn't tag you the first place by spreads, maybe you're tagged in now. This is a micro time frame flip, micro time frame bullish zone. They need to respect, okay, for bullish. So yeah, the 1-to-1 is given, and now the 1-to-1 of the huge zone is given. So that's 10th win. Okay. All right. So this was London. Okay. I forgot about another trade I took. Okay. So I was here in M1 and we were making lower lows. This was a bearish structure. It was like playing with fire, but I still took this short, and lots of members in the Discord took it too. So for me, this was another win. Okay. Now you can see the executions on Twitter for this, right? Okay. So when we closed above this high, we created now this beautiful bullish zone. So the limits are now in the 50%. Another trade we took. Okay. So tagged in and the 1-to-1. Okay. So 12 win, 3 losses for now. Okay. Okay. Now, higher time frame. I can see that we made this big bullish bearish zone, right? This was our last bearish zone. And everybody was waiting for it to short it on the Discord. Okay. We also had this unmitigated zone in it. Also, we had this beautiful glitch in this unmitigated zone. I was like, guys, the price will go back to the glitch zone and we will reverse possibly if we are reversing from it, or just mitigating something we left here and then flipping bullish. Okay. So price closed above this, which make this now our bullish zone, right? When price came back here, I just went to the 15 seconds. I wanted to be done for the day in London, and I was tracking price, right? So this was my bullish zone, okay? Was waiting for price to do something, tag me maybe in. They never happened, right? We created this zone. They were like bad to see, but I took this one from the 50% and it was a win, okay? So let's just not count the second trade I took, right? No problem, but you can see the executions on Twitter, right? So again, this was this new created zone, tagged in, and another win, right? I kept milking those zones, to be honest. They were beautiful, right? Another tag, and I was done for the day here, okay? This was also another one I discussed, but yeah, we tagged the glitch now, and we were like ready for price to reverse. Also, we had this glitch on the second time frame, which we tagged to the tick and gave the 1-to-1, right? So here I was done trading with the 15 second, and by no means I wanted to miss this beautiful trade, right? So we basically were just waiting for price to go back there, right? So they gave us the win, okay? Some took the short and some took this long. And to be honest, I prefer the guys that took this long. Why? Because they are respecting the rule of playing what price is telling us now. Okay? So 1-to-1 was given, right? I didn't count the win here, but I will count this one. Okay? 13 wins, right? Okay. Here again, we're talking about microstructure. We created this beautiful zone. We're tagged in, we're in. Okay. Okay, so we're in and another win. Okay, cool. So we create now this beautiful zone. To be honest, we didn't create it now. Maybe on the seconds. We still needed to close above here. Okay, no close yet. No close yet. Here we closed, right? So this mini close here, and we're ready to take it from the 50%, right? So let's see. We're in and the 1-to-1. Okay. Okay. I think there was some news. As per our rules, we don't trade the news, but we'll still count it as a win. Why? Because we are just stress testing the moneymaker setup. Okay, we're playing the price. We're consolidating, and we created this bullish zone. So we're in, and this gave us the 1-to-1. Okay, 16 wins. 3 losses. Okay. All right. So we ended up taking that zone. Although this is clearly mitigating or tapping this higher time frame zone we created now, because we were doing microstructure on this zone, right? And this is maybe mitigating the breaker block or the mitigation block for more move up. But we don't care about all of these things. We keep taking our money makers. So this is a bearish zone. This was the bullish higher time frame zone. So this was our bearish zone. We're in. Okay. And that's a loss. 4 losses. Now we created this new bullish zone, right? We're tracking. Okay, so we created now this zone and it gave the 1-to-1, but we don't like to trade the zones at the highs, right? So we wait for a new zone to be created or coming back to this 50%. All right. So we created now this zone. We are maybe spooling up to reach some kind of higher time frame liquidity or objective, as they always like to do in New York. All right. Again, no judge. We have this zone now. So we're in and another win. Cool. See how simple it is? We have now our new zone. And remember, when price and zones are getting smaller, we are maybe flipping soon. Okay. So here we got tagged in and we got an instant win. Okay. So 18 wins, 4 losses. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay. So we went and maybe tag this A++ moneymaker zone with accumulation and displacement. By all means, I'm taking it. So I'm in now and another win, right? 19 wins. A little gem for the guys that are still here. So when price is bullish, we never take this as a flip, right? This is just a stop hunt, just to go more up. So we don't care. We don't normally take this trade because they like to go fast and take their stops, but we're testing the moneymaker and rules are rules. So we're in, maybe a stop loss and another win. See, sometimes price is gifting money. Okay, so as predicted, ended up taking this zone. Okay, so now we created this bullish zone, right? This is the SNDR that took the zone, and it's also an ICT dealing range, right? So that's a beautiful trade. If we tag this 50%, I'm taking it. It has 2 confluences, okay? So I'm in. All right, cool. Okay. And another win. Very good. Very, very good. Okay. So what's happened? Okay, now we created again this zone, right? Okay. I have microstructure now. Okay, so we closed above this microstructure. Maybe we are bearish to go back here. Remember, I never take the first flip. If we have a new zone, I'm taking it. Okay, so internal zone, bearish zone. Okay, okay. So they didn't tag me here. Okay, no problem. But I have my new bearish zone. Okay, okay, I'm in, and another win. 22 wins, 4 losses. All right, so I'm in on my bullish zone, and that's the 23rd win, right? Very, very good. So now when we touch this, you never take the last micro structure zone, bearish one, this one. You never take it. Why? Because we're now bullish. Okay. Okay. So it's already 4:30, right? We have now our bullish zone, but that's a story for another day, maybe, right? Market is almost closed. So again, another beautiful day where we ended with 23 wins and 4 losses. All right, traders, that wraps up today's review. As you saw, we ended up with 23 wins and just 4 losses, all without relying on any daily bias. This goes to show that you don't need to complicate your trading with unnecessary concepts. The moneymaker setup alone is powerful enough to consistently deliver results, as we've proven today. So, if you're still chasing trends like the ICT daily bias, FVGs, and other stuff, maybe it's time to reconsider. Focus on what really matters, understanding market structure and executing your strategy with discipline. That's where the real profits are. Before we go, a big congratulations again to Valentin and Chris for passing their challenges using only the moneymaker setup. You guys are proof that sticking to the basics works. If you found value in this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more insights. And don't forget to join our free Discord community where we share more strategies and real-time analysis. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao ciao.